when Donald Trump was selected, I knew it was going to be bad, but I did not think it would be this bad.
Don't you lose sight of what you want? Care about the simple things in life.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's crazy to think that I really have not gotten political on this channel. You would think, knowing me, if you know me in real life, you would think that politics would have already intertwined into this channel. But I think I have to at this point because politics is actually stepping into this sphere of, I would say, healthcare. I would say veterans. Everything pretty much. So let's start number one with Donald Trump. Tweeting out to the members of Congress that they should be hung, or retweeting that they should be hung, and that seditious behavior is punishable by death, by them saying, "Do not obey um, unlawful orders." Like, I don't know. I just went to see Hamilton yesterday. It was crazy. It was great. And I just think that the founding fathers of this nation would be appalled by our current political state. That is like so crazy, so unpresidential. And you have these Republicans, these MAGA Republicans, who are so gung ho on making sure that everything Daddy Trump says is true and correct and twisted into, oh, he didn't actually mean this or that. And to try to rationalize him tweeting, if Barack Obama tweeted out that Republican lawmakers were acting in seditious behavior and it's punishable by death. Can you imagine the eruption of impeach, get rid of, like, it would be crazy on the other end. And these people act like they can't even see the problem. This dude is so crazy, man. And it's really getting to the point where it's going to permanently impact this country. It's going to permanently impact our way of life. It's going to impact the norms that we hold to people in power, to people that you look towards as leaders. You don't expect a leader to be talking about people, like pointing in a reporter's face, saying like piggy, and telling these people how, like, oh, you're the, like, it's crazy. Like, if you the kids that are growing up today and who are just starting to understand politics, or not even really understand, but just like know who the president is, maybe see some stuff, this is normal to them. It's normal to go around and telling people you're a pig. It's normal to tweet out that if you disagree with some words that someone says, that should be punishable by death. They are going to think this is normal behavior. Think about that. I don't, like, it's ridiculous. Um, but stepping into our world of pre-health, the list now of non-professional degrees, which which the Trump administration just updated with, Vince McMahon, the WWE guy's wife, running the Department of Education. I don't know what qualified her to get that position, but running the Department of Education, the new big beautiful bill is now changing the limits about federal loans that can be handed out to students, and they're capping it for those who are considered non-professional degrees. They get capped at, I want to say, a max of 86,000. I seen maybe 100,000, and then for professional degrees, it's a cap of, I want to say, 200,000 that you can be loaned. But basically, they took physician's assistants, they took nurse practitioners, they took physical therapists, they, like, all of these vital positions in American healthcare system, they remove them from being professional degrees. Like, you're telling me that a nurse practitioner who can go into it and run their own, like, health spots in certain like areas throughout the country. You're telling me that these people are not professional degrees? You're telling me that a nurse isn't a professional degree? Here's what that's going to cause. Number one, it's going to cause people go to their doctor's appointment sometimes and see a physician assistant. They see a nurse practitioner. You know what I mean? It's going to cause people to say, I don't know if I want to go for that degree because, I'm not going to get too much federal loans. I don't want to get too much loans from private lenders that, interest rates are all up and down, skyrocketing. So I'm going to pursue a different area of study. That's going to lead to less PAs, less NPs, less physical therapists, and then what's going to happen? There's going to be more strain on the doctors, because you don't have a PA to help you out to see certain patients. So that's going to put more strain on the doctors. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but people love to talk about how, oh, we can't go free Medicare because you'll be waiting forever. I made an appointment, I think it was in August, for an allergist, and I'm not going to have that appointment until February. Like, and people want to talk about you don't have to wait in America too long. Like, that's ridiculous. But can you imagine with less PAs, less NPs, what the wait is going to start being at these doctor's offices? And then not only that, but when that load is placed on the doctor's shoulders, more of a load, what are they going to do? They're going to request more money because they're spending more time, they're seeing more patients, and they have more responsibility. So they're going to request more money, and that's going to lead to negotiations of that. And then you'll be left with what? A strike, maybe? From residents? Who knows? Or maybe less people say they want to go into the medical field altogether due to the fact that there's really no help from like PAs and nurses and NPs. People aren't going to want to do all that. It's stressful enough already. The healthcare system is important that we have those other professions as far as nurses and NPs and PAs because it's a lot. The medical system is a lot. Like there's a lot of patients. There's a lot of people that need help and we need to make sure that we're able to see as many people as we can. And we need people who are qualified to do that, like PAs, like NPs. This administration, hopefully, I really hope that the next administration that gets in there, like, reverses a lot of these changes. But, like, I'm really seeing why it's so important to vote. Like, it is so important for people to get out and vote because of things like this. Like people are now questioning should they even how many Reddit posts I've seen already? People are like, should I even pursue nursing anymore? Should I even pursue PA anymore? Knowing that I can't afford that. I can afford those loans that I'm going to have to take out, those private loans, and you don't know what those private vendors are going to make those interest rates because they know people are going to need them now. They're going to skyrocket them all up. It's going to impact the health of our country. It really is. And for anyone that voted for this, I just would ask you the next time that you go to the doctor, the next time you have to wait on a doctor, the next time you feel as though the care you received is not sufficient to what you would like and the attention that you received was not sufficient to what you would like, put that on your boy. Your party, the Republican Party, would rather give tax cuts to rich people, rip people off Medicaid than to fix the issue with our medical. You know, and I know I'm going on a rant here, so bear with me, but they say that the subsidies that are on Obamacare are going directly to those healthcare institutions, and it's not been, and it's we need to get rid of them, and people need to work, and this and that, right? And Obamacare is so bad. The Affordable Care Act, oh, it's horrible. It's the worst health thing that's ever happened in the world. According to the Republican Party, that's the case. Why then have they not proposed a health plan? Why? Donald Trump's first term, they said the Affordable Care Act was so bad, so bad, so bad. During his first term, I believe, he had the White House. Republicans were in charge in the Senate, and they had the majority in Congress. Pass your health care plan. Where is it? Even now, he's been president since November of last year. Or no, sorry, since January of this year. It's now November. We'll take a month off of that for the government shutdown, but where's your plan? Joe Biden was president for 4 years. Well, first of all, you were president for four. Joe Biden was president for four. So that gave you 4 years to come together with your people to create a healthcare plan that if you guys were to have won back the White House, which you did, you could propose your plan. That's a better plan. Where's your plan? You don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. Their plan is to hurt the American people as much as they can so that they can benefit the rich. That's the plan. Because if you actually cared about the broken healthcare system, why would you start with the poor people? Why would you start with the people who need those subsidies and say, we're taking those subsidies away from you? Why not start with the corporations? Are you telling me that Congress and the Senate and the president, they could get together, they could pass laws that can tell these insurance companies, however much you're charging these other countries, American people are going to pay that amount. We're not going to be overpriced simply because we're Americans and it's a capitalist society. Start there. Don't start with taking away from the people who are paying those rich people already. It's ridiculous. These people are ridiculous. And it's really, really crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I just think that we are on a downward, slippery slope, man. And it's going to take people like us. It's going to take our generation to fix these issues. And then I'll mention again how I went to see Hamilton because, like, I was just comparing a lot that was going on with Hamilton with current events. And to think that we are electing politicians who are more worried about foreign countries than the American people. If we could look at how crazy this is, y'all. Joe Biden proposed a plan to get rid of student loans, right? And the Republicans took it to court. They said it was unconstitutional. We're not going to bail out these people because of the fact that like they took out loans and they can't pay them back and all this. Cool. All right, whatever. They shot it down. You guys tell me, when Ukraine needed a bailout, how much money did we send them? How much weapons did we send them? When Israel didn't need a bailout because, number one, they're way more powerful than Hamas. They did not need a bailout. But when they were in need, how much money did we send them? When Argentina was in need, who bailed them out? Back in the day when the banks were about to cause the stock market to collapse, who bailed out the banks? Who gave the money to the government? But when it comes to us, the American people, these people will fight and claw to make sure you do not get those same benefits. Those benefits should go to the American people, not foreign people, foreign nations. They're okay with us being at the bottom and fighting each other over left and right than fighting them for protecting the top class. There's gonna be a change. There's going to be a change. And it's going to be up to us to make sure we vote out anyone. I mean, anyone. Look at this. 80-something Democrats just voted to condemn socialism with the Republic. Like, what does that even mean? First of all, like, what does that even mean? Because when it's certain things, you see what happened, right? The American people, the people in New York City, they supported the socialist Democrat Mamdani. So do I. I agree with a lot of what he says. I think that more socialist policies would be beneficial for the American people. But who doesn't want to hear that? The rich, the top. They're like, oh, no, more taxes for me? No. What do you mean? Elon Musk is like, what do you mean? No, this $1 trillion pay package I got from Tesla, yeah, I need that. That's going to protect my way of life. I can't give any more to the people who are actually working in my factories, to the people who are actually buying my cars, to the people who are, no, who cares about them? I need $1 trillion. I don't know. There must be a change. And I don't know how we get to stop fighting with each other at the bottom, because they don't care about us at the bottom, but they're going to say, hey, What can we make them fight about? Oh, men and women sports. Let's make let's make them fight about that. Not that we're gonna give another tax cut to the rich. Not that the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poor. Let's let them fight on men and women's sports. They'll think that's important. Uh, oh, you know what? Let's make them fight on black versus white. Yeah. Yeah, we're always down to make them fight on that. Let's just say some racist stuff is going on and make them say there's no. Let's make them fight about if racism is a thing in the country. Let's fight about race. Let's fight about transgender. That's a big topic. People care about that. Let's fight about that. No. That's what they want us to do, y'all. We have to fight about why we can't afford houses today, about why people have to work multiple jobs today, about why is it that people at the top keep getting richer and the people at the bottom keep getting poor? Why is it that our politicians continue to send money to fund a genocide? Why is it that foreign countries have so much influence over our politicians more than we do, the people that vote them in? That's what we need to focus on. And until we do, we will continue to be lost. Until it's a left versus a right, we will continue to be lost. Because I can guarantee you, those weird individual like identity politics, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. They're using that as a ploy to continue to work their magic, make themselves richer, and keep us at the bottom. Y'all need to open your eyes. This is not a left versus a right. It's right versus wrong.